so much for having me on your very popular podcast, BlogTalk. I'm so honored to be here with you. Finally, we've been communicating for so many years for this interview, and it's finally happening here at the Good News Pilipinas headquarters in the Bonifacio Global City.
Yeah, it's such an honor to meet you in person.
Thank you so much, MJ. I've heard so much of your BlogTalk, and of course, he is here all the way from Hollywood in Los Angeles.
Absolutely. And let's talk about you. I know, has this been really your dream to be on television?
It has always been. It all started when I was in grade 4 and I was watching my mom watching the news on television. I sat beside her and I was really very curious about these people on television reading the news and also at the same time reporting the news where the action was happening.
Wow.
And I told myself, Mom, I want to be like them.
Wow.
I want to be where the action is. I didn't really imagine myself becoming a broadcast journalist or a news anchor. I wanted to be, first and foremost, a correspondent. And that's where it all started. That was my ambition, to become a correspondent, a news correspondent.
Wow, how old were you then?
How old was I then? Most probably I was only maybe 10 or 11 years old.
Oh wow, so you already knew.
I already knew from that moment when I was watching news programs with my mother that I wanted that to be my career.
So who was your influences at that time?
Oh, well, I would watch a lot of news programs from GNA Balita to Newswatch to PTV4. So I really admired the likes of Alex Tinsay and Jimmy Hill from GMA 7. And some of my idol news anchors were the likes of Jose Mariveles, Bong Lapira,
Wow,
and
these are
Harry
like-
Gasser. A
Wow.
lot of our Gen Zs and Millennials
Classic.
and maybe Gen Ys would not know who they are, but they are basically the foundation
Wow.
of our broadcast industry. So that was my dream, that was my ambition, to be like them. And I went through the process of getting myself maybe self-trained when I joined a lot of public speaking competitions
Wow.
in grade school. So I would join oratorical contests, declamation contests, talumpatian, school competitions, but also interscholastic competitions against other schools from Ateneo, from St. Scholastica, San Agustin, Assumption, Lourdes. So I would compete against the best of the best
Wow, that's amazing. That's
in
well,
grade school and high school.
that's well said, Rico. And moving forward, I know that you just didn't stay in the Philippines, and
Yes.
you actually went to also BBC. How is that like, and what was the challenges like?
Well, of course, when I started my career, it wasn't really a bed of roses, MJ. I started out as a production assistant because at that time, when I started with GMA News, it was very competitive. You still didn't have your 24/7 news networks.
Wow.
The news programs were only at 6 in the evening, at 10 in the evening, and there would only be a single anchor show, and there would only be a very small group of correspondents. So my entry into GMA News was as a production assistant with a weekly kiddie show called Uncle Bob's Lucky 7 Club.
You know what? I heard about that
Yeah.
because I grew up here as a
Yes.
teenager in the 90s.
Yes.
And I watched that. I think that's like in the morning show.
Morning every Sunday.
Yes.
And that was basically one foot inside the door
I
to get
see.
to know the people in the GMA News and Public Affairs Department. And then from there, I was given my big break by no less than the late attorney Dong Puno. He is my mentor. I am who I am in terms of my style of interviewing and delivering the news because of him. And then from there, I got my big break with CNBC Business News, which is a huge business network in the US. They opened in Hong Kong. And then I moved to Hong Kong and I was there for 7 years. And after that, I was with BBC World News for 18 years. 18 years. And I even asked BBC World News when they hired me, I said, "Are you sure that you would like to hire me? Listen to my accent. Listen to my accent, not a tinge of the Queen's English at that time, right?
Absolutely.
Right? Not a, no British accent. And then he said, "No, Rico, we like your interviewing style, we like your presentation style, and you carry this very neutral accent." I said,
Wow.
"Okay." So they said it's neither British, it's neither American, Australian, or any type
Neutral.
of accent, and they called it the Pan Asian English accent. So it's not even a Filipino
Wow.
accent.
I really love that. Now you created your own amazing. We should put that on dictionary.
Yeah, Pan
Absolutely.
Asian English
Yeah,
accent,
so,
neutral.
Having said that, after all of those years, I know you have another baby. It's now an adult called Good News Pilipinas.
Oh yes, we started all the way back in 2006. I was still with CNBC at the time and BBC. Oh well, I was with BBC News at that time, and we founded this website because of all the negativity, right? That's being talked about our country, about our people. But there's just so much good and positive things to talk about our country. There's so much beauty in our nation.
Absolutely.
And our kababayans are the most hospitable in the world. There are more than 10 million Filipinos outside of the Philippines, in Europe, in Asia, in North America, in Africa, even all the way in in the far-reaching countries of the world, and many of them are successful.
Absolutely.
Many of them have made names for themselves in different industries, and we have to be proud of them. And many of them have not been talked about or reported about. Their stories have not been told, and not only there, but also here in the Philippines. Why do we have to focus on negativity when there's so much positive things that we can talk about our beautiful country and our people, not only in our own backyard, but around the world?
I really love that. It's really beautiful, Rico, because Good News Pilipinas, it's now part of my routine, because every week I have a column there of Blog Talk, and I really love the slogan that every time you go to goodnewspilipinas.com, it's making every Filipino proud.
And inspired,
Yes.
right? And who is another inspirational Filipino among us, but no less than MJ Racadio,
Oh, boy.
who has made a name for himself in Hollywood and in Los Angeles in the US. We are very proud of you, MJ, and what you have done for the Filipino community in the United States. And that is you are just one of the many Filipinos who have made a name for themselves in the United States.
Absolutely. Well, that's coming from you. That's something that's very special.
Absolutely. We're very proud of what you have achieved
Thank you.
in close to 3 decades that you've been in the US. And you even covered the Miss Universe beauty pageant in Mexico.
Yes.
And to be there, to be among all these contestants, and to be part of the process is really something to be proud about.
Absolutely. And this year, we're so proud to be part of the Academy Media List as well.
Academy Media List, fantastic. That's the Oscars, right?
Yeah.
And you also have the Nepalese couple who were part of the Golden Globes.
Yeah, they're my mentors. We're part of the Los Angeles Press Club, so that's amazing.
Yes, yes. And so many Filipinos, not only in entertainment, but also in hospitality, also in the medical field.
Absolutely.
Yes, are making a name for themselves in the US.
Absolutely.
I mean, I think in Good News Pilipinas, MJ, we're just hitting the tip of the iceberg on the number of Filipinos who have made a name for themselves and who are success stories in their own right.
Well said. Now, talk about your new program on ANC. Talk about that.
Well, after 4 years with CNN Philippines, I came after 25 years overseas. I came home and joined CNN Philippines because of my aging father. So that was a very successful 4-year run until the network shut down earlier this year. And then after which I joined SM Investments, which is the parent company of the C family, As we all know, when you come here to the Philippines, what we see around us are malls, hotels, right?
Absolutely.
Resorts that are owned by the C family. So I set up a platform for them called SM in Focus. It is a YouTube platform. It is like the news magazine program of the SM group, wherein we basically talk about sustainability, social good, business innovations, and recognitions within the SM group. And then, of course, afterwards, I was able to speak and join the ABS-CBN Kapamilya family. You know,
Congrats.
and I have a weekly program. Thank you very much. I have a weekly program called Beyond the Exchange with Rico Hizon. It's a weekly program that can be watched on the ABS-CBN News channel and also by our kababayans around the world on the Filipino channel.
I want TFC.
Yes. Do you have TFC?
I do have.
Yeah.
I want TFC.
And of
yes.
course, it can also be watched on ANC 24/7 on YouTube. So it is a business features program where we interview personalities. It could be both Filipinos here or abroad on their successful business ventures, whether it be micro, small, or medium enterprises. So we've had on past programs the likes of Jose Marichan. He's not only Mr. Christmas,
Yes.
but he is also a businessman, an entrepreneur
That's amazing.
who's into real estate and into sugar.
Wow.
And then we also interviewed Gary Valenciano and his wife Angeli Pangilinan. He's not only Mr. Pure Energy,
Yes.
but also a businessman. They have a production outfit called Manila Genesis Entertainment. So they manage Gary's career and also a slew of other Filipino talents.
I really love that your show because it's not just people see just entertainment and
Yes.
this is now the business side of
The
it.
business side of entertainers, of celebrities. So it's not just the chismis or the entertainment side of our celebrities,
That's amazing.
but what they're also doing with the money that they make, right? Because,
Absolutely.
I mean, the entertainment business is not for the long haul. I mean, you never know. We always have to be prepared for the rainy days. And then we also have a lot of other topics that we discuss on Beyond the Exchange with Rico Hizon. So the business of content creation, right? What does it take to be a content creator? The business of Christmas bazaars that is so popular here in the
Absolutely.
Philippines. The Christmas season starts on September 1st. And we
Wow.
know for a fact that on September 1st, that's when we
The
hear,
Burr months.
that's the Burr months, and when we hear Jose Marichan singing Christmas in Our Hearts.
Absolutely.
So even the Christmas, the business of art toys. So there's just a lot of business topics that are not discussed in mainstream media that need also our attention.
That's beautiful, Rico. That was like well said. And so, guys, check it out. And one last word to our audience, word of wisdom. And of course, you created the GNP Academy as well. Aside from that, one last word of wisdom, Rico.
Well, I think to all our kababayans, despite all our success, despite all the challenges that we are facing, we always have to keep our feet on the ground. We always have to be grounded. We always have to remain simple. And we always have to reach for the stars, right? We always have to dream big,
Absolutely.
right? And that is one way for us, each and every one of us, to be successful. And I think, MJ, what is also most important on top of it all, despite all of you and I, our success in our respective careers, we always have to give the glory to God.
Absolutely.
Without Him, all of these things would not be possible. And of course, we always have to thank our parents, because our parents nurtured us, they gave us an education, and they have helped us through thick or thin in our careers. Our families are so important. They're the foundations to our success.
Wow, that is beautiful right there. Award-winning broadcaster Rico Hizon. only here, exclusive on BlogTalk, and of course, Good News Pilipinas. And want to shout out to our team, Atom, JC, Angie, and of course our visitor from New York City. He's
The
a
Big Apple.
New Yorker. Ro Malabanan is the man. He's my protector. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much,
Thank you
MJ,
so much.
for having me
Absolutely,
on your program.
absolutely.
I'm really very
This
proud.
is
and
very
honored.
exclusive here on BlogTalk, and make sure to check out his show. Until next time, and of course, shout out to Oji Leona for my hair, my skincare for Olivia Quito, and my dermatologist, Dr. Tess. And with this amazing outfit, Noble Creations of Amiel Noble. And that is it. Until next time, I'm your host, MJ Racadio, and you're watching Blog Talk.
All right. As they say in the Philippines, hey!
Mabuhay!
Mabuhay!